Hello, good morning, everyone. It's quite different practicing upstairs in my bathroom mirror and now here. So, okay. So, plastic. This is how big plastic right now as a part of our economy, and most of all, as part of the problem we are facing. Plastic, invented to help preserve nature and also describe your fake friends. So, kidding aside, the word plastic has become the center and most discussed word nowadays, especially when it concerning environment and pollution. But did you know plastic started as the savior of the animals and not the opposite? So plastic is good. So when it was invented in 1869 by John Wesley Yacht, the invention of the resource was inspired by New York firm's offer of $10,000 of anyone who could provide a substitute for ivory. So at that time, the growing popularity of billiards put a strain of the supply of the local natural ivory. So billiard balls at that time are made of ivory tusk. To obtain through slaughter of wild elephants, Yap discovered a plastic that could be crafted into a variety of shapes and made to imitate natural substance like tortoiseshell, horn, linen, ivory, and tusk. This discovery was revolutionary at the time. For the first time, human manufacturing was not limited to the constraints of nature, as nature can only supply limited wood, iron, metal, stone, bone, tusk, and horns. But now humans could create new materials. This development helped not only the people, but the environment. Plastics could protect the natural world from the destructive forces of human need. Next, plastic was used to supply electricity all over the United States. And then when the war came, it was used for parachutes, ropes, helmet liners, bulletproof vests, and even plexiglass was used to replace window for our aircraft at that time. So during that time, United States alone made a production of 300% more plastic at that time alone. Today, this is what you see commonly in our convenience store. This is what you see commonly in our convenience store here in the Philippines. If you walk in every corner, you can see 7-Eleven, Mini-Stop. So this is it. So in the Philippines, we love sachet so much. We have a sachet for our shampoo, our laundry soap, our body soap, our condiments, and cigarettes. Even our plastic trash is inside a plastic packaging. So I'm sure a lot of our Western friends here are confused. Why do you consume a lot of sachet, and why do you use sachets a lot? This was asked to me when we were in Chile presenting our technology there. A lot of our Western friends are thinking, what is a sachet? We didn't have this photo before when we presented. So we're thinking, we were just talking about sachet, and they were like, what's a sachet? So this is not common in the Western world. So this is, I think, only locally, Philippines and Southeast Asian countries. Africa too. Southeast Asia. South Asia. So this is in a particular region, not in the Western hemisphere of the world. So this was also again asked when I presented this technology and the problem we are trying to solve when I was invited in Geneva, Switzerland last December for the Sustainable Developmental Goals of United Nations. So why do we use a lot of sachet? Well, basically, it makes expensive things cheaper. It's because of economy. So Imagine a bottle of shampoo costs 300 to 400 or 500 pesos depending on the brand. That's around, roughly around 10 to 12 dollars, US dollars. A single sachet is only 5 peso. I don't know how much that, what in cents, in dollars. 1 cent. 10 cents? 10 cents, okay. So, a shampoo could only cost 10 cents instead of $12. So, a minimum earner, a minimum wage earner here in the Philippines, who earns around 300 to 400 peso a day, would not spend his or her entire salary on a bottle of shampoo. Instead, he or she would budget that wisely for food, for bus fare, for rent, for bills. So this is how it works. This is why sachet is flourishing here in our country. So imagine a person using sachet and then just throwing it away. One person. So imagine a family of 5 throwing sachets for a day for 365 days. This is what will happen. So what you see here are mostly single-use plastics or sachets. Why? Because other trash, when segregated, like metals, water bottles, we can still sell that in our local junk shop. But sachets, there's no value to that in the junk shop, in our junk shop. So it ends up here. So this landfill is composed mostly of sachets, and sachets trap moisture, and then it started to smell. So you can see this is a famous fall in our city. So we are a city of waterfalls. We have 27 waterfalls in our city, in just one city alone. So this is what happened to that falls right now. Because there's a landfill nearby, and the juices, or what do you call that, seeps into the water. And now, if you could smell the picture, this room would smell like with an awful smell. So right now, this is the problem. We used to be city of waterfalls, but now we will be soon city of landfill if we would not act on it. So this is the water. So from this photo, you can see people, enjoying the water, the pristine waters, the clear water. And now, this is the water. Oh, yeah, that one. So in a recent study, the Philippines consume a staggering 60 billion sachet every year. And this increases as our population grows. So when you say, you might be familiar with the different timelines on when the sachet degrades, right? Bottled waters, 100 years, 500 years, etc., 1,000 years. It does not really degrade and disappears. It just turns into microplastic. Now it has the illusion that it degrades, it disappeared. It just turns into microplastic. This microplastic is now present in our ocean, inside our fish. We probably have microplastics in our body right now. A study shows we inhale, we eat microplastic. Microplastic is not only in our water, but is also transported in our rains. So microplastic is everywhere. And this is the problem. We might not notice it right now, but a couple of years from now, we might have problems related to being ingesting microplastics in our system. So what if there's a $1 billion part of the solution of this problem? So this is LESSTICS. I co-founded this startup to help the environment and also help improve our life. So this is in partnership with our local Fab Lab Mindanao. So with the help of Fab Lab Mindanao, we are one of the thousands beneficiaries of the technology, the trainings, the mentorship they offer to our local community. Without Fab Lab, we were not able to come up with the idea because we are limited. The resources are very limited. So we are able to use their machines, the trainings they provide, and most of the people who mentored us are engineers, professors, and this is what we came up when we were under the trainings they have given us. So LESSTIC has a very unique technology. The process is very simple. We shred plastic. We have the machine. We have our own machine to shred the plastic. Since a regular shredder cannot just shred soft plastic, it will destroy the motor and the blades of the machine. Then we have created our own unique formulation. It's patent pending. It's a vegetable-based formulation, and then we use it to bind the shredded plastic. Why do we bind the plastic? Why not just burn and melt it, and it's easier to form it into different items? We were inspired by different factories that doing this right now. There are multi-million factories that collect plastic, hide from the illusion that they are cleaning the environment and helping the environment, and then they burn and melt the plastic to create the product that they're selling. They are cleaning the environment, but they are creating another monster because of the burning and the emission that they are producing. They just skip from the destructive to the most destructive part of plastic processing. By burning the plastic, they just release the toxic chemicals in the environment, and now everybody can inhale these cancer-causing agents. So one of our co-founders has visited their plant, and it smells like everyday plastic, you know. So this is why we were inspired to do this. So we bind it, and we have created a board, insulator boards like this one. So this board is very rigid, very light, and it does not absorb moisture. It does not attract pests. So imagine all around you, if you look around you and above you, the ceiling, the walls. Imagine if we use a material like this instead of the trees that we have limited right now. We could have took away tons of plastics in the environment and save a lot of area for landfill. So imagine this building using the same material. We could have, Cebu is probably left with a little amount of landfill. So this is how we help our community. So every household produce a certain amount of plastic every day, depending on the size of the family. So the government right now, especially when we visited the city of Manila, they have a program called Pera sa Basura. And this Pera sa Basura roughly translates to money in trash. So every household will segregate their plastic, single-use plastic, and then drop it to a designated center. And Manila, the city of Manila will give them a coupon that then they could buy something from that coupon. So people are doing this. Now the problem is what is the city gonna do with the plastic they have collected? And this is where we come in. We collect the plastic, we process the plastic, and then we turn it into boards and other stuff that our clients order. And then their revenue is back to the processing, and then we will then hire people to segregate and process the plastics to different items. So as part of our sustainable developmental goals, this is the reason why we were invited last December in Geneva. We start every partnership with education, educating the public on how to properly segregate and recycle. So most of the time, single-use plastics ends up as trash. So this is where we come in. We develop, we create the technology, we process it, and then we sell the product to different construction company and different government agencies. Now, it's very easy to replicate the system. As if it works in one community, it would work in other communities because we have the same structure in our local governments unit. So in LESSTICS, we would like to provide jobs in every community while preventing single-use plastics in reaching our landfill and waterways. Why is it very important for me to be here right now? Most of the time, when we hear about plastic, we relate it into trash. But what we would like to change that idea. We would like to put value in plastic. So when people realize that there's value in plastic, they would stop throwing the plastic. Instead, they save it, and in exchange of something. We have another program, is Wi-Fi sa basura. It's like Wi-Fi access in exchange of plastic. Now you don't have to spend money, you just give them Wi-Fi access. So when they access the internet, they could use it for research, games, video streaming, but we want them to use it for research, but it's up to them. It's their connection. So this is what we're advocating, and we're trying to push this idea. And we are very thankful that we're given this opportunity by the British Council to present our idea and our technology here in front of the global audience. So imagine this problem we could turn into this. Thank you.